Hi guys, welcome back to my rabbit hole of K-pop. I'm Atomic Rabbit. I actually wanted to come on here on this last day of the year to sort of celebrate making it through the year. I know it's been pretty hectic, especially these last few months. Probably I haven't been able to come on here regularly or keep on going like I promised you and like I promised myself I would do. And I'm pretty harsh on myself, and I read your messages that I need to rest and take care of myself and that is the most important. I know it is, but it's pretty difficult for me to do that because I'm just the perfectionist. So I would like to do and to be able to do the things that I promised to do. I also like to pride myself on being a reliable person. But then again, it's a hobby and I take it more seriously because it's a lot more than just a hobby. For me, taking an interest in music and sharing my thoughts about the music and the MVs and whatever we see, it's really, really important because it has become a part of my life. It has become a part of who I am. I think more importantly, it has helped me discover more about myself. It has helped me realize that music and video and the art that is being created with that, so I call it art, and for some people it's just music and MVs, but for me it's a lot more than that. And I think you've also been able to discover that with me this past year. It's something that I want to take part in and want to be a part of. It did bring me a lot this year, and it certainly helps me coming on here and talking with you guys, even if it's just to a camera that doesn't talk back. And by reading your comments and knowing that there are people who wait for me, but I know you're not pressuring me. Some people are, and that's okay because I get it. I really do get it. Trust me, I get it. You want your favorite people to come to you with content that you want to see, that you want to watch together with them. I really, really get that. It's really so nice to see this thing grow and to be able to communicate my thoughts and feelings with people on the other side of the screen, and maybe also help these people discover things about themselves. That has always been a drive for me to do whatever I do. Every single thing that I do is based on helping the other as much as I'm helping myself. So me watching all of this content and choosing what I want to see, it's for me, it's for my benefit. But by sharing this whole process, I would also like to inspire others. It's just how I'm built. And I want to do this a lot. Like earlier tonight, I don't know if I told this, but I think I cut it out of the video. I can't remember. But I have an older neighbor who lives in the street. Of course, neighbor, street. There's an older man who lives in my street. He's my dad's age. He's a little bit grumpy. He's nice and he's sweet and he's loving, but sometimes he's a bit grumpy, and I can handle that. I can handle him very well. I come from a family where there's a lot of grumpy old people who actually really enjoy life, but they like to be grumpy as well. And he's the same kind of guy. And it's weird because we've slowly gotten to know each other over the course of this past year. And we started talking, and he has some health issues and I have my health issues. So, we just talk together. And in the summer we sat outside on the porch, and anyways, one thing leads to another, and now I ended up becoming his cleaning lady. Once a week I clean his house, and he invites me over for dinner, and he shares all these wonderfully mind-blowing stories about where he's been and what he's seen. And this guy, he is a treasure chest of stories. It's incredible. This evening I was over there for dinner again. Because he asked me to cut his hair. We're on lockdown. There's no hairdresser open these days, and his hair was starting to come down to his shoulders. So he asked me if I could cut his hair and if I could cut his nails. We're to that point, and I'm like, sure, it's fine. You give me dinner. He pays me for the cleaning. Don't pay me for this. It's fine. I also warned him I'm not a licensed haircut person, so he might end up bald. He looks pretty decent, if I say so myself. That's a whole story. This is how I rule. I go from left to right and then I come back to where I was. My point was, we were sitting down and we were having a drink and we were watching television, and there's in the Netherlands we have this top 2000. It's the 2000, they advertise it as the top 2000 best songs ever made. Taste is personal. There was a program about it on the television where they were talking about music. I was looking at it and they were talking about all kinds of songs and back in the day and now, and visiting people, and they were talking about Patrick Bruel, who's a national French, he's kind of a French legend, but also visiting the Beatles and Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones and stuff like that. And I sat there and I watched that program and I was like, you know, this is what I would like to do. It's part of what I would like to do. Talk about music, dive into music, understand it, be with those people, make music, go around, sing songs, contribute to people's sanity. Because there was a girl in that show and she was sharing her story. I think I missed the first part of it because I came in when it already started, but I think she was very depressed, or she was suffering from depression, and there was a concert, there was a piece of music by a certain artist. It saved her life, it saves her, it brings her happiness, so it makes her a lot better. And her mom was there as well in the studio and they were talking about it, and it made me realize once again that for me it's working similarly. My happiness doesn't depend on the music, but it is a really big part of my quest in searching for what does make me happy, or the quest for my happiness, if that makes some kind of sense. Because I know it should be coming from the inside, but there's so much wrong with me on the inside. Not wrong, I don't know if I want to talk about this very much longer, but I posted in a community post that I have been thinking for a while now of doing a live stream. I think it would be nice to talk to you live for once, and just talk about stuff. So maybe that will come up at that time as well. But I suffer from colitis, which is a chronic inflammation of the colon, so the last part of the bowel. And I've been dealing with that for the past 6 years. It's been making my life a little bit difficult, but right now what is happening and what has been happening is that in this past year I've had 2 flare-ups, but right now I'm in the middle of having a second flare-up. Turns out it isn't the colitis, but there's a big fat chance that this is actually Crohn's, so which is another part of the bowel. They never researched it because there was no reason to, but right now it's for the past 2 months. My body is trying to fight an inflammation, and it's exhausting me to the point where I can only do 1 or 2 things during the day, and that's it. Then I'm done. I'm just so wiped. I can't do anything else, which is the biggest reason I wasn't able to record videos as much as I wanted to, because I was even too tired to listen to music. And today's a good day because I decided to stay in bed for probably 12 hours. I slept most of that time, not all the time, but I slept most of that time. But that's on the inside, and that's what I mean with there's a lot wrong with me on the inside. People can't see it, so people don't understand it. And I have to deal with it because I feel it. On top of that, there's the whole menstrual situation going on in my upstairs chamber of secrets that I have to deal with as well. So it's all on the inside, and it's very hard to deal with myself. But when you're misunderstood by 98% of your surroundings in daily life, it's very difficult. And this past year for me has been extremely difficult. And I think it is very safe to say that without this channel, without this task that I've given myself of going through these groups and these contents and all these music videos and the music itself, and discovering these wonderful people and sharing that discovery with you guys, which for me gives me some sense of meaning to my daily life, I don't think I would be sitting here today like this with the stuff that I've got around me. The way I'm installed right now and the stuff that I'm looking at right now and that I'm seeing on that screen behind me, most of this has been made possible by you guys. And I'm gonna give you a slight tour of my shelves in a little bit, but I just wanted to tell you that thanks to you guys, I've been able to buy that camera, which I'm now talking to. I did make a vlog about it, so I shared that with you guys. I think I also let you know that I bought a good microphone. I was able to buy this wonderful, wonderful chair, and honestly, guys, this is a lifesaver. My back was in such a bad state. I was in pain when I went to bed. I couldn't lie down properly because of my back. And now I have this chair with this thing, and there's also a back support thing, and I'm just installed nicely, and the back pain has just evaporated like it was never there. It's still there a little bit, but that's also because my posture is bad. Bowel things. I've been able to, I can show you a little bit. I haven't been able to talk into the microphone and record a video with it yet because I still am trying to figure out how it works. I haven't had the chance, but you can see it because I can pull it out. Look at this. It's a whole microphone. Look. Oh. It's on this stand. I've got it on the table. I'm actually able now to sort of slowly giving you what I have in my mind, even with the lights behind me. It's been a couple of months, but I wrote it down. I had like this vision. It was sort of a dream, but it was more of a vision where I was walking into a corridor, and at the end of it, there was something calling, and it was still in this it was very misty. I couldn't get to it. I know this sounds very weird. If you're at all into imagination, stuff like that, maybe some spiritual stuff, you might understand it. But yeah, I've been having weird visions this past year as well. Spiritual awakening, I have no idea, but I really like this one. And it's pretty personal, but I still want to share it with you, part of it anyways. I was walking in that corridor, and there was something at the end which was calling me, and I wanted to get there, but because of the mist I couldn't. I could stand in it, but it was still so misty. Have you ever seen Harry Potter? There's this pensieve, like the thing where all these memories go in from Dumbledore's mind, and when you dive into it, it's this all mist, and you see shapes and forms, and you hear voices, but nothing really. It's very abstract, and you're traveling through all these memories. It was kind of like that. Like there were vaguely, I knew there were forms, and there was a presence, or there were multiple presences and voices, and I sort of knew what was in there, but I couldn't get there yet. So that was like, okay, so there's other things that I need to do first. So I went back into that hallway, and then there was a door opening. And I went in there, and it was my studio. It was exactly how I had it in mind. It was like this, a bit of a mixture between Yoongi from BTS's mixing room, his Genius Lab. A bit of that combined with Wooji's studio thingy from 17. It was a bit of a mixture of that. So it was this big ass table with just a few computer screens and a keyboard, and there was a piano, and there was a good sound system, and there was a microphone, and there were a few cases with shelves in it, and there was one that had all kinds of camera equipment in it, and there was another one that had albums and such, and there was the one with figurines and stuff like that, and the light was kind of purplish, pink, purple, magenta, a bit like the color that I've got going on right now. So I am just trying to get to that point where I can actually have that. That is my goal, and it's thanks to this channel that is one of those goals that has appeared for me, and it's something that I want to work for, and it's something that makes me want to get back to this channel, and makes me want to get into this more and better, and even more directed at something, you know, make it really, really meaningful. For me, in the first place, I want to spread something with this. Awareness, joy, inspiration, And that's just really my drive in daily life, and something that I wanted to share with you. Also, I'm forgetting, but I also have in-ears now. They're so great. Look. Oh, okay, I have to do the whole thingy. Look, they're purple. Oh. One day I'll have my customized things. Anyways, okay, shelves. Because I'm going to give you a slight tour. Also, while I'm doing that, I'm going to give you my top 5 best albums for me personally this past year. I have been thinking about this for a little while, and I can show you all of them. There's just one which is still on the way, but let me get to this. Can I stand? Can you still? Oh, you sort of can see me. Okay, I'll just stay seated. So there has been a ton of good music this year. It's ridiculous. I've said this quite a few times already, but this past year has been a wonder for K-pop. Everyone has just upped their game. I think I'm gonna give you one. There's one bonus. I can't count it in my top 5 because it's really just a single, so it's not really an album. But Guilty Pleasure from Hwasa. My god, it's good. It's so good. I'm so happy I got this album. It looks amazing, by the way. I'm sorry I haven't been doing unboxing videos anymore, but you might understand why. Maybe I'll do a few binder tours sometimes, because my 80s binder is just becoming increasingly big. If you look at my videos from last year, from a year ago, all I had was this. I just had BTS, that's it. And I said that I wanted to complete my BTS collection before I started collecting anything else. But then I bought Want from Taemin, and that was it actually. That was the first non-BTS album that I bought, Want. And then I bought Chen's April and a Flower. It might look different to you, by the way. I had to rearrange because of this. My 80s albums came in and I was looking at it. I was starting having trouble fitting it on color schemes. So what I try to do now is sort of put it together. So this has now become kind of SM space with Monsta X taking up some. Here's TXT and a few randoms, and then here I have 80s is Big Stuff. The Ladies. I actually have a few girl group albums now, and there's more on the way. And this is New East and Zico, and I have Hyuta's album. Okay, this one. I don't know if I showed it to you, but I have it. I was really glad that I got it because it was a really difficult one to get. And Zico's Television has been staring at me for the bigger part of a year actually, and I finally got it. And then here I got Everything 17, Everything 80s, and there's my Shiny albums over there. And I really like this because it looks really, really cool, and I'm so glad that I finally found a copy for Wavy's album. This is one of the most magnificent album covers ever made. It's absolutely stunning. I needed to have it. Also, it's a very good album, so I'm glad I have it. But number 5 from my top 5. Oh Lord, am I forgetting now what it was? What did I put on number 5? Yes, I can remember. Okay, yes. Number 5. It was a hard choice. It ended up being Your Choice. Okay, that was a really bad pun. 17's Your Choice album, because when I heard it the first time, I thought it was absolutely perfect. It was really tight between Ataka and Your Choice, but I still have to go with Your Choice for this year. So that was number 5. Number 4 is one of the albums that's still on the way. It's Formula of Love from Twice. Some of you might have seen my reaction to the actual, to the MV Scientist. I listened to the album after it. It was such a surprise. The whole thing is so good. It was an absolute no skips for me. And it just went straight up to my top 5 best albums of this whole year. So Twice, Formula of Love. That's also why I ordered the album. But it's still on the way. Damn it. I forgot one. I gotta put it in there. aespa, Savage. I gotta put it in there. I just listened to it 2 days ago for the first time. And yesterday actually. I put it on repeat. I listened to it for 13 times straight, I think, on repeat. I just gotta put it on there. So Formula of Love, Savage, aespa, twice. They got 4th place, both of them. Okay, 3rd place. I'm curious if you can guess it, but maybe you can. I'm not sure. But it's NCT 127's Favorite. Not Sticker, but Favorite, because Favorite is in my top 5 best songs for this year. It's just that good. It's gonna be NCT 127 representing the whole of NCT/Wavy, because Favorite is just... 2nd place. This was actually a no-brainer, but One of a Kind from Monsta X. I actually pre-ordered 2 versions and then I had to find the other 2 versions, which is a bit hard because not every store sells them 2 versions. They sell them like random version, which wouldn't help me. So I had to wait for group order managers to sell their albums for cheap, which was practical for me. So yeah, One of a Kind, absolutely. Number 2, spot 2, deserved. Absolutely one of my favorite albums. And then finally, also because this is probably one of my favorite albums of all time, Fever Epilogue from 80s. I love all of their music, all of their albums to me are no skips. You know, I could have put TXT's Freeze in it, because it is also ridiculously good. There's just so much good music, but yeah. So these are my rearranged shelves with my not so little collection anymore, which keeps ever growing. And I'm glad I don't eat much anymore because of all of these issues that I've got going. So whatever I don't spend on food, I spend on albums. It's food for the mind. Let's put it that way. It's almost 2 a.m., but I really wanted to take this moment and just chat for a little bit on my own to a camera, but I really wanted to do that before the year's end. I just felt like doing it, and it's also kind of my way of saying thank you very much, really, for coming back to my videos, watching my videos and listening to me, and thank you for your comments. Thank you for caring. Thank you for sharing sometimes your stories. And even if you don't share them aloud, thank you for being here. Even if I don't see you or don't hear you, there still is that short moment of connection that we have. And I'm really glad that you enjoy spending some of your precious time with me, because everyone's time is really precious. All I can hope is that whatever time I spend on making these videos can be somewhat useful to you. And I hope that I will be able to continue to give you a good place to come back to from time to time. I don't really do New Year's resolutions. Every day is a day to start doing what you set out for yourself. Every day is a new chance of stepping forward on the path of your life. Every day is a new chance to figure out where you're supposed to go. And I don't really believe in resolutions because you take them and you can't really keep them, and then you forget about it and you feel all guilty about it. So I don't see the point in that. I just try to go every single day, and every single day is a new chance to try and get better and try and do better and try to be better and try to become the best for me, according to my standards and not according to someone else's standards. And also, every day is a new chance to figure out what those standards are and how to reach them. And I think I would wish for everyone to do that. For themselves, not for me. Some people work really well on New Year's resolutions because it gives them that set moment in time where they can start and they continue. But for most people, it doesn't work. Life doesn't start at the 1st of January. It is a start of something, but every night at midnight, the clock resets at 0. And that happens every night, not just on January 1st. So let's just say that every day is a new chance of a new beginning, even if it is the new beginning of more shit to come your way. But that's also how life works. It's a continuous challenge, guys. But my point of resolutions was to say that every day I get more of a shape of how I want to arrange things. Like I said at the beginning, for this channel, what I want to do with it and where I want to go. And it's still very, very vague, like that fog part. It's still vague, but I do have those surges of inspiration like I had when I was watching that music program, like the chat about it. I hope that at one moment in time I will get to that point where it can become a clearer thing, and that is what this channel is helping me do as well. So I'm absolutely 100% going to continue, and for as long as I can I will try to be as regular as I can, just for me, because it's also some form of therapy. Getting better one step at a time, one video at a time, multiple videos a day, hopefully. But most of all, I'm really looking forward to having fun again, and a lot of it. And that's mostly what I hope for myself, but everyone around me, that there's gonna be fun involved in next year. However bad any situation may be, fun, because it's what we need. Thank you so much for joining me on my couch this whole past year. I'm looking forward to spending more time with you in this rabbit hole that we have created together. Me, thanks to you guys on the other side of the camera. I will see you very, very soon. Please be safe. Get your vaccinations. Wear your masks. Be kind to yourself and to people around you, because you never know what the other person is dealing with. And a smile goes a long way, even if it's just with the eyes. Thank you so much, guys. Happy 2022. Annyeong.